I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to be asking the question, can everyone make good AI art, or is there something more to it? Right now in the artist community, the buzz over AI is intense. We artists are upset that people could be profiting off of our artwork. Basically, the program AI takes thousands of artwork and scans it, and depending upon the prompts that are put into the computer, can spit out an image that looks in the style of, say, Monet or Van Gogh or Rembrandt. Although those artists are no longer alive, some AI-generated art has actually copied the style of artists who are living today. Another reason that we artists are upset is that AI-generated art removes the heart and soul of art. We create art for many reasons. Art is a way for us to process our life, and having a piece of software create a piece of art without that art journey behind it or without the person behind it feels to us very cold and very product-oriented. Another reason why we artists are upset is because we have worked years on our personal style. And if someone were to just type in our name and say, create a piece of artwork in so-and-so's style, then all those years we took to train and produce that style would be wiped out in just a matter of seconds or minutes when somebody can spit out a piece of artwork in our style. I have not done research. On purpose, I decided to just jump in this head first and see if I can create a decent piece of art. Okay, so I have an account with Adobe Photoshop. I've been using them for many years. So I signed in and I'm going to see if I can create a piece of AI art with this. Shutterstock's AI generator. Let's see how their pictures turn out. So I just tried out Shutterstock's free AI art generator, and their results differ slightly, I feel, from Adobe's in that the style is a little bit more in tune with the art style. Like if I typed in Impressionism or Cubism or medieval or Renaissance or something, I felt like it gave a little bit more of the art history style to it. That being said, I think the results that you get are far from what I have in mind. However, I'm pleasantly surprised at the creativity that AI generates, and I think this is a great springboard to coming up with new ideas for projects. Now I'm going to try another AI generator. So I stumbled across Fotor, and that was one that you can actually upload your photo and it will create a version. You can select Disney, or you can select anime, or a host of other ones. So I started at the very first one and clicked anime, and it came out with some surprisingly cute pictures. I liked what they came up with. However, when I went to click the next style, I wanted to try each one out. It said, oh, sorry, you have to buy credit. So I would have liked to have played with Fotor more. I actually found that program to be quite interesting, and I really liked the results. The very first prompt that I typed in was my very favorite out of all of them. That surprises me. It was the prompt that had to do with an Italian multi-storied house with vines growing up the wall. However, I also liked quite a few other ones. I was trying to achieve a more illustration type work, and I found that a lot of the pictures did not look like illustrations to me. They were more photographic in nature. However, for me, I can see that this would be a useful tool in composing a piece of artwork. However, it would not replace me enjoying sitting down and actually creating an illustration. When I tried to create logos with one of the programs, the logos, one of them was rather interesting. However, it doesn't have the polish that creating a logo in, say, Adobe Illustrator would have. I think it's a possibility for generating ideas though. One thing that I noticed that AI did very well was pattern design. I would have never come up with what they came up with, so I was really pleasantly surprised with that. One thing that AI did not do well is think inside of my head and create the image that I had inside my head. There are a few differences that I want to point out about the different AI generators. I did notice that some of them are very quick. They only take moments, like maybe 15 to 30 seconds, while another one is still working on generating one single image. I never got to see what it produced. Let's check on it. Generating your creation, it's still not finished, and I think it's been working for about 45 minutes now. So I don't suggest using that AI generator. They still need to work out a few bugs. Another difference that I noticed was that some AI generators produce very vivid colors, even if you click the tabs that say to have muted colors. Some seem to nail the historical styles better than others, such as typing in Impressionism or Cubism, or the style of Van Gogh or the style of Leonardo da Vinci. Some of the free AI generators give you just a couple of images for free, and then you need to pay for credits, while other ones, you actually literally get to type in many. Also, I noticed that a lot of the AI generators show previously generated AI artwork below, in a tab below, and I found that that artwork looked far better than the artwork that I was coming up with. And I would venture to say it's probably because of the prompts that have been typed in. The more time you spend, the more you can tweak it and get the artwork to turn out exactly like you want it to. So I think that this is a program that the more you work with it, the more you realize how to craft your words in order to get the image that you're looking for. My favorite program would be a combination between Adobe's and Shutterstock. Shutterstock, I feel like, really hit it on the historical styles. AI is a piece of software. I know that back in the day when Sketchbook first came out and other early graphics design programs and digital drawing programs came out, artists were afraid that those would replace a person who draws by hand. Even the earliest CAD drafting systems, people were afraid, oh, there's not going to be any more hand-drawn blueprints for houses. It didn't replace them, it just made the life of the artist and the architect easier. And in this sense, AI is just that. It is a piece of software that can help us. It's really the user behind the software that can use that piece of software for good or for ill. So if I were to try to make a piece of art in the style of, let's just say, some famous graphic poster artist, that would be me trying to steal that person's style and profit off of that, which would be unethical. I think there should be stops in the program to prevent that from happening. And as long as those things are in place, I think that AI is actually going to be a very interesting tool to help us artists come up with new compositions and come up with new thoughts and ideas for what we would like to create. So do I think that AI art is going to replace artists? Yes and no. I think there's always going to be an audience who wants to purchase quick, fast art because they need a product. They're oriented towards, I need a poster or a design just for my business or to post for a flyer or something. Those are the type of people who don't really want to pay much money and they need just a quick graphic for their company. However, I think that there is always going to be a group of people who care about the type of art that is connected to an artist themselves. People love to follow other people. They love who they stand for. They love the art journey itself. As an artist, that is what art is all about. It's the art journey that we go upon when we look deep into our soul and we want to create a piece of art that expresses our emotions, that's processing our day, that's giving a message out to the world of something that we've noticed that may have been overlooked, such as Van Gogh with his little bowl of oranges, or the starry night looking outside of his windows. We like to take the mundane and we like to make it accessible for other people or noticed by other people. Art is our way of showing what we find beautiful in the world and what we want people to look at. Art also can share our worldview, what we think about life in general. It also can help us express our thoughts and feelings. For example, when we're going through a difficult time, we may be able to work out those emotions by putting them down on paper, and then afterwards we feel better. I think there always will be a market for people who want to purchase art that has a story behind it and that has a person behind that art who's been creating art for the beauty of that very process of creation. So in that sense, I don't think that AI art will ever replace that type of artist, the painter, the crafter, the jeweler, the sculptor, the potter, that sort of thing. However, I do think that AI art brings up a very important point about artist compensation. If AI generated art is truly scanning the thousands and millions of pieces of artwork that are out there on the World Wide Web and just using them willy-nilly, I think that copyright issues come into play, and artists would rightly be upset if something pops out looking like a particular artist has done that work and yet they didn't do it and somebody else is getting that artwork for free. One of the AI generators that I clicked on actually says they are compensating. If a particular image has been used and purchased for licensing, they will compensate the artist, and I think that's fantastic. Okay, so to answer the question, can everyone make a decent piece of AI art? I would say yes, with a little bit of tweaking the descriptions that you put in. Some programs have more options that you can click, such as techniques and style and mood and lighting and vantage point, perspective point, things like that. If a person can think in their head what they're looking for and then type those prompts out, I think they'll be pleasantly surprised at what they get. Or if not, it's just a fun way to be entertained. So what do you think about AI generated art? I'd love to know, but don't knock it until you've tried it. I hope you enjoyed this foray into AI-generated arts. Yes, the controversy still rages, and I don't know which side you're on, and I'm sure at one point you will pick one side or the other. Now go make some art today.